Canadian Prepper here. So everybody's asking me to comment on the truckers' protest, this massive convoy that's going through Canada. I try to only approach these things obliquely because I like to be apolitical on the channel, and as much as a lot of people don't want to make that about politics, unfortunately, there are some people who do, and they tend to be the ones that speak the loudest. However, I will say that without truckers, without couriers, without postal workers, society would collapse in a matter of days, especially throughout the last 2 years where there have been worker shortages as a result of the bug, and you've had the actual amount of stuff that's been shipped probably double, if not triple, in that period of time. So for the last 2 years, being in the nexus of this whole supply chain, having an e-commerce platform, we bring stuff in, we ship it out to people. Being in that nexus of things, I work with couriers and I see truckers every single day for the last 2 years. Back in the dead of winter of March 2020, these guys were still going to work, not knowing what the hell was going on. They were the ones who were deemed, rightly so, among the most essential of workers. Because when you have a just-in-time delivery system, a global marketplace where you need to move goods thousands and thousands of miles, and people expect it, and boy do people expect their stuff right away. Something incredibly foreign that had parts that were they themselves mined or manufactured in other places, and all those parts had to come together to ship to you, the end user. You need to thank truckers and couriers when everybody was sheltering in place, locked in their homes, on lockdown, on quarantine, when everybody was in the refuge of their space and was secure. These guys were out there when we didn't even know what the hell was going on. Okay, they were out there putting their lives on the line. Those workers back in March 2020 chose to stay home out of fear of what was going on when nobody knew how severe this thing was. If they decided not to go to work, this whole situation would have been far, far worse. In my opinion, truckers, couriers, postal workers, they are soldiers in this whole thing. And if you guys want to know what a stressful job is, and if you want to know why people go postal, go and work in a postal facility or just work in logistics for the past 2 years. Okay, it is non-stop, constant. Right when you think you've gotten to the bottom of your pile, a whole other 2 or 3 shipments comes in, and you got to do it all over again, and you just never ever catch up. It just keeps on coming. These people have been incredibly overwhelmed, and I believe that we owe them every ounce of possible respect and gratitude that we can possibly muster. We've seen what can happen when just a small amount of truckers don't show up for work, or the people who are working at the ports or the naval vessels who are bringing stuff over. This whole logistical supply chain, if you just grab the thing that's closest to you right now, there's a good chance that it was made from a variety of different component parts that had to be shipped by a trucker from a variety of different places, then put together, then shipped to you in a store, and then perhaps if you bought it from Amazon or if you bought it from us, we had to ship it to you, and that final person who delivered it perhaps was a local courier. There was a time back in our primitive existence where there was no such thing as a courier, because everything you had was basically from the immediate environment right around you. You want to eat, you go and hunt that animal over there, you go and pick that berry, you do everything yourself. As we've evolved as a society, we've adapted this thing called the global just-in-time delivery system. And if there's even a hiccup in that, guess what happens? We'll have major congestion at a port. Okay, we'll have major postal delays. There was a period at the peak of the pandemic where if you tried to call Canada Post, you'd be on hold for hours and hours on end. That's how important global logistics are. And we truly need to honor truck drivers, couriers, and anybody who takes one of the various components of whatever electronic device or food or any item, any man-made artifact that was shipped from thousands of miles away that you appreciate. You need to be grateful. And you can just say, well, yeah, they're doing their job and, this and that, and that's true. But guess what? Unlike people who work in law enforcement or the medical fields, these guys never really signed up to be putting their lives on the line. They don't get danger pay, as far as I know. at the peak of this thing, when we didn't know what was going on, they weren't getting danger pay. Okay, I seen these guys busting their ass, and girls, every single damn day. The positive outcome of this whole debacle is going to be that attention is going to be brought towards the importance of this job. Okay, it's probably one of the most underrated jobs in terms of weaving the fabric of society together so that we can function day after day. So to me, this convoy, whatever the political ramifications are down the road, to me, I think one of the great things that's going to come out of it, hopefully, is that people are going to learn to appreciate where their stuff comes from and how it gets to them. Because if you don't understand that, if you have no appreciation for that, you're never going to be a prepper. Because you'll just think that stuff grows on trees and flies through the window with a fairy and some pixie dust. Fortunately, it doesn't work that way. Somebody had to bust their ass to get it to you. So hug a trucker, buy them a coffee, buy them a meal, pump their gas, do them a favor, show some solidarity with that occupation. Do I support the truckers convoy? I'll tell you this. It's one thing I do support. That's the people who have been out there busting their ass every single day throughout this whole thing without any danger pay, okay, without any hesitation, really, every single damn day, putting their lives at risk. And they are one of the highest risk jobs because they're going around all over and interacting with people. I'm talking more so about the couriers now than I am the truckers. But these guys were putting their lives on the line, especially the couriers who had to go and exchange different packages, working in the postal system, exchanging all these different parcels that people had to touch. These people put their asses on the line, and we need to respect them. And if they have something to share, if they have something to get off their chest, we need to listen, and we need to respect it. We need to not conflate that with any other ideology or whatever the heck. We just need to look at it, what it is, on its own terms. So anyways, guys, enjoy the supply chain while it lasts, because if the port congestion right now is any indication of how bad things could potentially get down the road, if there's one more little curveball thrown in this supply chain, then hold on to your butts, because it's going to get a lot worse. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay prepped. Canadian Prepper out.